All right, we've got some major potential bank crime that we want to get into here. Two big stories. Let's start with this first one regarding JpMorgan Chase and their top executive, Jamie Dimon. Put this up on the screen. So this is, again, for the Financial Times. JpMorgan chief Jamie Dimon to be interviewed under oath in Jeffrey Epstein lawsuits. Sworn testimony scheduled to take place behind closed doors in May as bank fights litigation. So he will be interviewed under oath about his bank's decision to retain the late sex offender Jeffrey Epstein as a client, said people familiar with the matter. The sworn deposition due to take place in May is the latest development in two high-profile cases brought against that bank by an alleged Epstein victim and by the U.S. Virgin Islands, where the disgraced financier had a home. They claim that JpMorgan, where Epstein banked for 15 years, from 1998 to 2013, benefited from human trafficking and ignored several internal warnings about its clients' illegal behavior. The lender, of course, has described the claims as meritless. Part of the pretrial process unearthed communications between JpMorgan employees that contained a reference to a, quote, Dimon review, as in Jamie Dimon review, into the bank's relationship with Epstein. The bank, of course, has denied that its chief executive had any knowledge of such a review. So they have been fighting hard to prevent Jamie Dimon from having to testify about any of this, certainly under oath. They have lost that appeal, and now he is going to be forced to detail whatever it was that he knows. And they've also had, obviously, access to some of the internal communications here that raise some real questions about what Jamie Dimon knows. This, of course, Saagar, comes after things that we've talked about before. You know, a lot of questions about, okay, there were all sorts of not just sketchy, like blatantly, obviously crazy transactions going on with this Jeffrey Epstein account. And they kept him on as a client. They did not notify authorities, as perhaps they should have, about some of the, you know, blatantly sketchy transactions that were happening with regards to his accounts, because, you know, ultimately they were happy to be benefiting from having this incredibly wealthy person as a client. They really didn't care what kind of crime he was committing.
Yeah, the Maxwell trial was, you know, it was like old crimes. I'm not saying they weren't important, but they did their best to basically put her in jail without ever having to basically peel back the layer. The money has always been where it's been the most interesting. We have the New York Financial Services fine of Deutsche Bank from a while back, which went into the banking relations and the way that Deutsche Bank helped facilitate a lot of his alleged crimes, and they were fined significantly for it. A lot of this involves the former head of Barclays Bank, Jess Staley. Let's go ahead and put this up there on the screen. So Staley, while he was fired as the head of Barclays Bank for his involvement with Epstein, really it comes back to his time as a JpMorgan executive, where they say that Staley both witnessed and participated in sex crimes at Epstein's residences, and alleged that he did not disclose this, quote, despite having a fiduciary duty to do so.
Yeah, the fiduciary duty.
The problem.
That's the part we're worried about.
Cool. Got it. Anyway, JpMorgan is actually suing him, trying to get back $80 million that they paid him for his services. But he was one of those people who not only allegedly benefited and had a long-time relationship with Epstein in terms of his banking relationship, but then moved on to become head of, you know, the British bank Barclays, one of the largest banks in the entire world. And he's kind of sailed off into the sunset and denies all of his wrongdoing, you know, all of that for the lawyers. But even Barclays Banks says that the allegations against him are, quote, serious and new. So the board of directors there basically acknowledging that there are some serious issues, and they were also getting in trouble with UK financial authorities. So whatever the road to truth is, it's going to be somewhere here at the level of the highest levels of finance.
Just a few more details about Jess Staley and that, you know, former Barclays executive, and before that, former Chase executive. He allegedly discussed Disney characters Snow White and Beauty and the Beast in a series of emails with sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, who also allegedly shared photographs of young women with the banker, and they exchanged thousands of email messages between the two of them. So while the you know, suits against JpMorgan Chase as an entity are going on, and, you know, as part of that, Jamie Dimon's being forced to testify, JpMorgan Chase is also countersuing this allegedly scummy sex predator executive to make up for any damages that they are suffering. So there's kind of, you know, a tangled web of legal action being taken here, but it is obviously quite disgusting, the whole situation.
Yeah.
Hey guys, ready or not, 2024 is fully upon us now, and Saagar and I have been brainstorming ways that we can really up our game for this critical election.
Yeah, we rely on our premium subs to expand our coverage, to add staff, to upgrade the studio. We just want to give you the best independent coverage of this election, which is possible. So if you can help us out, become a premium subscriber today, breakingpoints.com, or the link is down here in the description video. It really means the world to us, and if you like what we're all about, this is the best possible way to keep us 100% independent, working only for you.